listening to Next Door Radio on the Vanco Outdoor Equipment Stream. Vanco Outdoor Equipment, your local Mahindra tractor dealer in Henderson.
And good evening. Welcome to a local talk here on Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Nextdoor Radio app. This is the Sunday sit down. The elect Robert Fountain for Granville County Sheriff. My friend, how are you, sir? Congratulations.
Man, thank you, man. I'm actually very blessed and I'm honored. I'm not going to do too much, and I'll let you and I have this conversation because it's been a minute, and I will Greta that to whole Greta that gratitude, debt of gratitude to Nextdoor Radio. I truly believe the Nextdoor Radio's platform was one of the catalysts for this election process. I think that our ability to share with you and those evenings that we had these conversations, I think those things were part of the success. And all I can say is thank you to Trace Nod, to Nextdoor Radio, to the listeners in the community, and everybody who poured into this whole process, even the detractors, the people who didn't think that we were capable, qualified, or competent to do what we've done. And I'm blessed and highly favored, man. Like they say in Granville County, I'm living the dream.
Living the dream. Living the dream. Again, my name is Trace Nod on behalf of Nextdoor Radio. This is the Sunday sit down. So let's kind of go back to the beginning real quick. Talk a little bit about the moment you realized that the election took place, 11 o'clock at night. What was the feeling?
Actually, man, and it's still, I tell people it hasn't sank in yet. After the polls closed, I'm going to go back. After the polls closed, we ran the polls that day. I think me and my team and a lot of supporters, we were bouncing around all over the county. And we just sat around and we were confident in what we saw, but we weren't bragging or high those expectations that it was going to be some kind of landslide thing. And then I think around 9:30, the first dump of early voting numbers came out. And when we saw that first dump of early votes, I think we were over 6,000 votes right then. And we kind of knew 30, I think the number was 38. I kept telling people 38%. I said, that's the magic number. Because I think we started at like 45 or 50%. And it started to whittle away a little bit. Everybody else was panicking. I don't like this. And they were running around. I said, listen, 38 is the number. And they were like, what do you mean? I just said, remember this. 38 is the number. And we just waited and things kept coming and things kept coming. And the margin of victory started whittling away. And when we got to, I think 39, I think there was one precinct left. And we finished up right at 38.5.
Wow.
I think that's where we finished. And then after the canvassing, I think it stayed around 38, 39% of the vote. And that's the thing. We didn't get excited until it was over. And I think that, and even then, it wasn't about me. We had people there at Oasis, and I got to thank Oasis. They did a great job taking care of us that night. Main Street Oasis on Main Street. They took care of us that night, and it was just about the people. And again, everything's been about the people. I'm just a face of a movement, and that was Tuesday. Wednesday, I went back to work on the food truck with my wife, and then Thursday, I started having meetings with everybody. Phone calls kept coming, and again, I was appreciative. I didn't really talk to people for about 10 days though. That's it was good, and it still hasn't set in yet. I think it may set in when we are swearing in is December 5th, Northern Granville High Middle School. Once we do that, I think it may set in a little deeper. But right now, it's just God has prepared me and my team to be here, and that's what it feels like. And it's not, I don't know. It's not, hit me yet.
Yeah.
I cried a little bit.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I cried a little bit, But other than that, man, it's been a blessing, and we're ready.
Sheriff-elect Robert Fountain George is here by way of the Sunday sit down here on Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com, Nextdoor Radio app. My name is Trace. Now, the great thing about everything that's took place and kind of put the pieces together, you've done it the right way. You went door to door. You didn't talk bad about anybody. You did it the right way, and so it's got to feel as an accomplishment to that. Hey, now we're here. We can start doing what we need to do.
Yeah. And even that night, I talked to Vance Johnson that night. He and I spoke at length about just being able to have each other's back, even though he's in Vance County or Henderson. We still have to have a working relationship with other agencies. So he and I really spoke. We're going to get together once all the stuff kind of dust settles a little bit. I spoke to Chris Moot sometime last week, I think, and about what his plans are, what career path he wants to take. And I've tried to talk to mostly every deputy, either text me, call me when I wasn't tied up with other things. But I want them to know I'm gonna listen to what you have to say, and then I will make informed decisions based on what you guys pour into me, and not just I'm gonna be some dictator or something like that. And I think now that they've come to realize that I'm just different, and we're going to manage differently than what they've been accustomed to, because we have to build this thing from the ground up. So the people at the bottom have to buy into the concept and knowledge of this new vision, new direction. And I think they have started doing that. And even to the point, I was going to push my swearing in date back till like the 12th of December, because I had some personnel that were going to be on vacation. But statutorily, I have to be sworn in on the 5th. So, I told the guys, listen, when you get back, I'll swear you in then. Don't worry about it. But one had to cancel his vacation so he could get in because of his retirement. So everybody's been kind of receptive. The jail staff, the detention center, and I'm going to get away from having two separate entities because we've been too far divided internally. The jail staff have been on one side of the house, the sheriff's enforcement side and LEO side have been on the other side of the house. I'm going to blend everything together. And that means duly sworn people in the jail detention side. I got a couple people want to go to BLET, but they want to stay on the jail side. So we're going to change the culture and just have a different approach in how we do business. And people are like, wow, even today, it's Sunday, and I showed up at the jail today. And they were like, what are you doing here? I said, I came to check on you. I wanted to see about my people. And we just, we're going to do it different. I spent some time listening to them. I went in and spoke to some inmates that are there or residents that are there. And I just want to make sure that everybody understands it's about a complete package of law enforcement, not detention, not the law enforcement side of the house. So I want everybody to feel at home. And I want them to have a say in what we do. And that's where we've been. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. So other than that, man, like I said, I've been drinking from the fire hose of information. When I tell you, it's a lot. It's a lot. And it's not about your past experiences. It's about, we had to go to the SLI. And the SLI is the Sheriff's Leadership Institute. And if you haven't been, I don't care if you was a chief, I don't care if you was anything, if you haven't been to that, you have to go through it and understand the power and the position of the sheriff's office. People have a broad understanding of what that is, but until you sitting there with 35 newly elected sheriffs, all of us learned something new. And then when the other 100 sheriffs came, it was amazing how this brotherhood, because you're one of 100, but it's amazing the brotherhood that you have with these individuals and the other sheriffs across this great state now. And I've been blessed. I developed friendships and relationships already that I can pick the phone up and I can call one of my brothers, and that's the way we look at it.
Yeah.
Even retired former sheriffs, you can pick the phone up and say, hey, this is Sheriff Fountain. I need your help and I need you to tell me how you did this, how you would handle this. And that's the exciting part. The band of brothers, right? So, but it's been awesome. It's been awesome.
Well, the great thing about it, going back to the original campaign, you talk about a new direction, a new vision. We're here to make a change.
Yes.
Talk a little bit more about that. Now that you've been elected into the Granville County Sheriff's Office as the sheriff, the next sheriff of Granville County. Now, what does that truly mean? What does those three words really mean? The change, the vision, and the new direction.
The change comes from having an intimate knowledge of what's going on now to appreciate what the deputies, detention staff are doing now, the courthouse personnel, school resource officers, drug interdiction investigators, what they do now, and appreciate that. But then the change comes from how do we do it better, right? So, in a sense of how my detention staff, and I say mine because I believe they're all my brothers and sisters, but I supervise and manage them. How they feed inmates, how inmates recreate, how inmates are fed. I mean, how they take them to court, jail transportation, how the court system is run, how SROs interact with children. So that's the change we have to look at, and then look at the fiscal responsibilities that we have, right? So what I did was I think almost every day or every other day, I've been going to the sheriff's office, just looking at the operation, how things work, looking at the policies, looking at personnel. I had all the personnel had to sign a release. So every member of the sheriff's office had to sign a release when we look at their personnel files. And then to evaluate where people are, and then to ask those questions in front of them. Where do you see yourself in 2 or 3 years? How do we make this agency better? So again, it goes through not me having to change the change agent. The ones that are there are the change agent. They just have to be listened to. And then they have to buy into what you see. So when I tell people, if I can do it, that means no one in leadership should have a problem with doing the same thing. So if I can go see the jail staff or detention staff on a Sunday, guess what I expect of my staff? Leadership needs to go check in. It's not about micromanaging them. It's about appreciating them. And if people understand that you appreciate them and you show concerns about, because the first thing I say, hey, what's your name? What do you do? Where you from? I want to have a knowledge base of where they're from, their family situations, so I can have the empathetic thoughts and compassion to understand if I got a single parent or a single mom or dad that has 2 or 3 kids and what they're going through, right? So I have to understand those things, but I still have to lead, right? But we have to be a family because that's what we are. We're the Granville County Sheriff's Office. We're one big happy family. We may have internal strifes a little, but I let them work it out. Even to when I went to, I was in a pod, here's an example. I went to one of the dormitories and staff were kind of talking and I was listening to what their concerns were and they got in a little spirited dialogue, right? So what I did, I told John Hardy, and I appreciate John Hardy with the utmost respect, and I told people they're going to respect him. He's going to stay on with me in a key and critical role to help with this transition. And after the transition, he's going to still stay. But I say, hey, Sheriff, come on, let's walk away. Because I wanted to observe how they have conflict resolution within themselves and who steps up. Because a leader will step up amongst the group and says, listen, the new guys here, we shouldn't be acting like this. And they have to work out those dynamics. So I step back and say, hey, Sheriff Hardy, come on, let's walk to the front. I whispered to him. So we went up and stood there and listened how they worked out their situation. And it was productive. But it let me do a on-the-spot evaluation of potential leaders who want to do it the right way. And with that, I saw some people that are qualified to become leaders. It's just taking the, time to mature them and nurture them and sow those seeds of responsibility that they must have to be the next sheriff. And that's what I told everybody. They're like, what? I said, I want you to be the next sheriff. I want you to be the next U.S. Marshal. I want you to be the next jail administrator. So if you set the expectation for them, then they may see it in themselves. And then you will have a competent, qualified group of people that are ready and willing to work for you because you're part of the process. And they're part of the process. And that's the change. And the new vision, like I said, it's just doing it different. We've got some outdated policies that we're working on. I'm a fiscal responsibility guy, and I believe we have to look at contracts. I have to look at the overtime. I have to look at the pay scales. Even today, they gave me a copy of the new pay cycle, and those things I have to be concerned about because I'm not going to do anything to cause or put my people in a situation where it's going to be detrimental to them, even if they got to pay their rent once a month, right? I want them to be able to not be late on paying their bills. That comes from me fighting for them, and I will fight for my staff. That's the thing I've told them. They do the right thing. I'm going to fight for them, and they have no qualms about it. And I will do it in front of anybody that comes after my staff or the Graham County Sheriff's Office. We are going to have those spirited conversations, and I talked to the county commissioners, county attorney, the DA. We've all had great meetings, good spirited conversations, right? So I think they understand that I'm willing to work with them, but I'm going to fight for the men and women of Graham County Sheriff's Office. Period.
Sheriff-elect Robert Fountain joins us here in a part of the Sunday Sit Down. My name is Trace Knight. This is the Sunday Sit Down on Next Door Radio, part of our local talk program and Decision 2022. It's a great feeling, even any kind of employee. It can be fast food, it can be radio, it can be anything. That hear their new elected sheriff or boss that was just hired say, "Hey, I'm going to fight for you, not just because either your background, I'm going to look different upon you." That's a good feeling to kind of go in and hey, we can actually look and we can look up to this individual.
It is, and I've tried to challenge them already because I told everybody when I get there, I want to see your resumes. I want to see your body of work. A lot of people didn't believe what I was saying, and I'm starting to get them. So, and I have deputies texting me because I told everybody pass the word. Because I didn't have everybody's number. I said, look, pass the word, tell everybody to text me. And then the same thing. I do an interview with everybody. If I can't do it in person, I'm doing it on the phone. If I can't do it on the phone, then we're going to have a conversation somewhere. I think I met with Lieutenant Newman, Ronald Smith, Lane, the maintenance guy, Mr. Higgs, Craig Williams. And these guys told me what they needed. And I told them, I'm going to challenge you to explain to me why I should do something. And once they kind of shaped the narrative, I explained to them why I came at them a certain way. And they were like, oh. But then the same thing that I think Lieutenant Newman was suggesting, we're moving into the direction that he recommended because he could fight for his people. And he had an articulable way to say, I need to get it done. We need to look at it like this, boss. So when he did that, he understood the way I was going. And everybody else then was like, nobody's ever did, But I think that's it. I think that's the key. And some guys are, they're moving on with their careers. I wish them well. Never again said anything disparaging about anybody. And, we're going to grow this thing. We've had a lot of people apply already that want to be a part of this new vision, new direction. I was shocked that Vance County, Franklin, Warren, people out of Durham have reached out. But we're gonna, take this process slow because we're gonna restructure the whole organization. We're a little top heavy right now, and I told the community, and I think that's part of what I said. Everybody's gonna go back to the streets. We're gonna get back in these communities. So some of these detectives are gonna be in the communities as well. So they're going to do their caseloads, but I need them in the communities, right? The school resource officer program is going to get restructured. I'm meeting with Felicia LaPlante tomorrow to ask for more positions. And then we're going to make sure we got some graduates coming out of BLET. I think on the 15th, Tyler Ellis is graduating from BLET from Vance Graham Community College. So I'm going to see him this week, and then I'll be at his graduation because I want, again, those people in leadership need to go and check on their people, no matter where they are. So that's the thing. I'm going to go see Tyler. He texts me. He's like, hey, sir. And I said, listen, man, tell me when you graduate. When does class start? I'm going to come this week. Just let your instructors know the sheriff coming, So, but I think that's what has really changed them already from the things that they heard. We're going to fire everybody and we're going to do this and do that. And that's not been the case. And like I said, some people moved on, and I wish them well. But we're going to do what's right for Graham County. If you've not betrayed the public's trust, then I have no issue with you. If you don't have any issues with moving forward, then we're going to grow together. We're going to be awesome. Man, I'm excited.
December 5th, swear-in day.
Swear-in.
It officially begins on, again, you've already been in the community. You've already done a few different things, looked at a couple of different things, but officially December 5th, my friend.
Yeah. And again, we are not going to do it as tradition has been. Traditionally, I think that the sheriff's swearing-in process has been at the courthouse, and the Honorable Judge John Dunlow, has graciously said he would swear me in because I want to make sure that people understand that your political affiliation means nothing to me. It's going to be about us being together as a community. So I asked Judge Dunlow to swear me in, and we're going to do it at a high school, well, a middle school that seats about 600 people because I want the community to embrace this process because they've never had an opportunity to be of it. That's, again, part of the change, the way we do things in which we are. So I would strongly suggest if the doors open at 5, you might want to be there because I think we're gonna have a full building, and we're gonna do some refreshments, a meet and greet, so you can meet the deputies, you can meet me, but we want the community to come out. Carlos and I went to a Hispanic Latino church today because I've been going back to the churches, and I told people I would come back. So I went to my church, and then we had another church, and I have another event. But we went to the Hispanic Latino church today, right here in Oxford, and I thank them because of the fact I said I was going to do. I'm doing what I said I'm going to do, and that's part of it. That's the part of where people have to understand what I said I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. You may not like some of the stuff that I'm going to do, but I promise this community to be fair. No matter who you are, your race, religion, color, creed, nationality, origin, I'm going to be fair. The sheriff's deputies in Granville County are going to be fair because justice is blind. The scales of justice have never been balanced. They're always unbalanced somewhere, somehow. But we're going to be in the fairness. We're going to be fair in the administration of what we do with respect and decency. You can arrest somebody and be respectful about it. You can respect somebody and, give them the civil warrant papers, whatever you have to do. I'm going to change some things about the concealed carry stuff. We have 2 locations where you can apply for your concealed carry on the southern end. So I'm going to try to work it out to where people don't have to come all the way to Oxford to pick up their concealed carry permits either, right? Because, again, we're going to do some different things. I got to get up with Chase Parrott. He's one of the reserve deputies because I want to have a reserve deputy force. And I'm going to ask Mr. Chase Parrott, you may not know this, but I'm going to ask you to help lead the auxiliary team. And these auxiliary deputies are going to have the opportunity to work in the county now to help in the schools. We're going to have public safety officers in the school systems, and I'm talking to Ms. Felicia about that. I'm talking to the Veterans Administration to see if we can get some of these veterans who already know confrontation avoidance, deconfliction, to see if they can help us in the school systems because they can be a public safety officer. And it's just different, man. I think on a different plane sometimes people are like, man, that's far-fetched. No, it makes sense. It was an acronym in the military, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. And I kind of always stayed with that. Keep it as simple as it can be. Because the small things are what really makes you look bad. Big things usually take care of themselves because that's going to be something we see. But the small interactions that we have, the problems that we create for ourselves, we have to stop. Have the communications, have a conversation with the 911 communications because we're going to start our senior callback system probably in January, February. We'll start the registration. I will have right now the chaplaincy services. We're going to expand those. We're going to have, I think, and I may be wrong, but I don't think there's ever been a group of females lead the chaplaincy service for the Granville County Sheriff's Office. So I've talked to some pastors, reverends in this community, Black and white women who are going to be a part of the chaplaincy service. So our community engagement component is going to be bigger. We're just going to do it different. We're going to do it different. And the LEO side of the house, we're going to be good. We're going to be so good. People be like, wow, Granville County? Yes, that's us. What else you got?
There you go. Sheriff-elect here, Robert Fountain, part of our Sunday sit down here on Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and our Nextdoor Radio app. Of course, this is part of our local talk program. You can listen back to all of our social media outlets. Also, this is recorded. It'll be back way of our website at nextdoorradio.com. If you did miss it live, it'll be right there. Again, officially swear-in day is December 5th. Excited for you, my friend. Congratulations. You did it the right way. You knocked on doors. Again, we talked a little bit about it before. But I'm excited to kind of see where Granville County goes from here. So congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Now I do have to say this. I got 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I have to thank and congratulate all of the people that ran for all the races up and down the ticket. And Miss Bodie, Mary Wills Bodie. I have to get with her because we're going to do something. I really appreciate the young men and women down home. They were out there in the streets canvassing, putting things out, working very hard. So, and the concerned citizens, everybody, everybody that was volunteering, giving their time to come out, pass out flyers, make sure that people had something to drink or something to eat. Everybody that was involved, and I'm not calling any names, but those groups, grassroots organizations. But we're going to have a special program for the swearing in, and it's all about the youth, and it's all about the kids. They're going to run the whole program. I got a few people that are mature like me that are going to help, but this is, I've told the kids that a lot of them that came to the polls, I want you to swear in with me, and they will be sitting on stage with me at Northern Granville Middle School, and we're going to have a good time. But I want people to start respecting law enforcement again. And I think that comes from embracing the younger ones, high school, middle school, so they can start trusting in the law enforcement community. Because we're not, and I said this, we're not part of defunding anything. We're going to support and back our law enforcement agencies and throughout the county. We've already started developing relationships with Jack Cates and the ALE. And I got to talk to all the chiefs this coming week, because we're going to have a productive working relationship with everybody. And my director at Institute of Homeland Security will be one of the keynote speakers at the event. So we're just asking everybody to come out. My team surprised me last Saturday with a banquet, and I tell my team, my wife tricked me. She was like, I just want to support us, and I show up, and it's a couple hundred people, and it's all about thank you, Fountain, for running. And I'm like, wow. I didn't cry one time, though, right?
Hey, I am an emotion wreck sometimes too, my friend. It's okay to be.
Yeah.
It's okay to be.
Like I said, Nextdoor Radio, the whole team, everybody in the community, thank you for the well wishes. I'm going to be the sheriff for everybody, no matter who you are. So I want everybody to understand that. And we're going about it the right way. We started the right way. We finished the right way. And we're going to kick off day one the right way. And just be patient. I want people to be patient, because it's not going to change overnight. It didn't get the way it was overnight, so they can't expect me to fix it overnight. But what you will see is me committed to doing what I said I'm going to do. And that's repair the public's trust, to be fair, and to have my deputies and other law enforcement agencies in these communities working harder and making sure the community knows who they are. So to the deputies, I appreciate them for the support they've given me so far. I'm going to challenge them. And I'm going to challenge everybody that works for the Granville County Sheriff's Office to do better. And I expect the leadership to do better and to be more effective. So this goes out to the leadership that is there now. Do better. Be better. You have to lead by example. And you have to support those people that you're supervising. And that's it. To my parents, my wife, my daughter, my son, my grandbabies. I love them. I love them. I love you, my brother. Thank you to my team. And Nextdoor Radio, we will be here with the Sunday sit down on a different plane. Once I get sworn in, we're going to try to do a community update. We're going to do a partnership with Nextdoor Radio. We can work that out. But I want the community to hear from the deputies. So I want them to be able to report out to the communities on the Sunday sit down. It won't be about candidate Fountain or Sheriff Fountain. It's going to be about the Granville County Sheriff's Office. So Next Door Radio, we're gonna try to be a proud sponsor for you guys. And anything you guys need, make sure that you get in touch with me directly. My phone number is gonna change. My email address is gonna change. The email address should be live in the next couple days. It's sheriff.fountain@granvillecounty.org. So everybody started hitting me my emails, send me some things that you need me to look at. I will try to get in touch with everyone that kind of reaches out to me. But if I don't understand, it's not because it's something, off. But again, I have the sheriff's training and standards. I got a budget to start working on in January. And I have to restructure the whole sheriff's office. So that's where we are. I'm loving life. I'm living the dream. And God got it, so I don't worry about it. Right?
There you go.
There we go.
Love it. Well, again, we love you too, my friend. We appreciate you, what you do here for what we do here on Next Door Radio. But once again, congratulations to you. You did it the right way. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Again, swearing in the ceremony is Monday, December 5th at 6 p.m. It's going to be at Northern Granville Middle School, which is 3144 Webb School Road in Oxford. My friend, congratulations. My name is Trace Knight on behalf of the Sunday Sit Down and Local Talk. This is Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Next Door Radio app. We'll see you later.